Joshua chapter 5, when you get there, say amen. I'm going to preach this morning on a culture shock. Amen. I believe that what needs to take place in America, what needs to take place in the church, and what needs to take place in this church is there needs to be a culture shock. There needs to be a shifting of the culture, because that's what God always requires before He can move. And really, the Lord just gave me this message a good while ago, and I feel like this is the time to preach it. Joshua chapter 5, when you get there, say amen. I'm going to start at verse 4. It says, "And this is the cause why Joshua did circumcise. All the people that came out of Egypt, who were males, even all the men of war, died in the wilderness by the way. And after they came out of Egypt, now all that the people that had came out were circumcised, but all the people that were born in the wilderness by the way, as they came forth out of Egypt, them they had not circumcised. For the children of Israel walked 40 years in the wilderness till all the people that were the men of war which came out of Egypt were consumed, because they obeyed not the voice of the Lord, and unto whom the Lord sware that He would not show them the land, which the Lord sware unto their fathers that He would give us. A land that flows with milk and honey, and their children whom He raised up in their stead, them Joshua circumcised. For they were uncircumcised, because they had not circumcised them by the way. And it came to pass that when they were done circumcising all the people, they abode in their camp until they were whole. And the Lord said unto Joshua, This day I have rolled back the reproach of Egypt off you. Wherefore the name of the place is called Gilgal unto this day. And the children of Israel encamped in Gilgal, and kept the Passover on the 14th day of the month, and even in the plains of Jericho. And they did eat the old corn of the land, and on the morrow after the Passover, unleavened cakes and parched corn in the selfsame day." Let's pray. Father, I thank You today for Your word. And Father, I pray today, God, that Your word would change us and it would quicken us. Father, I pray today, God, that Your Spirit would change us, that You would separate us and bring us out of the culture that we are in. Father, that You would lead us unto Yourself. God, I believe that today You are calling for a separate people. I believe that You are raising up a generation, a church within a church, a remnant. Father, not by the age of their lifespan, but Father, by the Spirit that You have deposited in them. Father, I believe that You are raising up a church today, a bride without spot, without wrinkle, and without blemish. God, help us today to be part of it. Father, I pray that You would pull the culture out of us, pull the world out of us, Father, that we might be holy and we might walk righteous before You. And Lord, we thank You for it. We praise You. We give You all the glory and the honor for it in Jesus' name. And everyone says amen. I want to talk just for a few moments this morning about the culture shock that took place in Egypt. The Bible says that for nearly 400 years, the children of Israel, actually one talks about from the time of Abraham when he made the covenant, but for about 400 years, so to speak, the children of Israel was in Egypt. And you think how much changes in 400 years. 400 years from now, there was not even a United States of America. If you were here right now 400 years ago, there was no buildings, there was no New York cities, there was no bridges, there was no San Francisco. If you came to this area 400 years ago, you would see some tents with some Cherokee Indians in it, and that's it. Amen. How much things change over the years. How much things change. So you have to figure, a lot of times we read over these things, but for 400 years the children of Israel had been in Egypt, and so their entire culture had changed. Joseph went there. You all know the story. I don't have time to preach it. Joseph went there because of the famine that was coming up in the land, and he went and God called him, and that there was famine coming, and He put the part of it back. And He brought Jacob and brought all of the sons to Egypt so that they could be sustained through the time of the famine. And then you find out that the Bible says that Pharaoh rose up that didn't know Joseph or his God, and he began to put the children of Israel under bondage. And for 400 years, they were mixed up and inbred into the culture of Egypt. Whenever they thought about Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they were thinking about things that had happened 400 years earlier. It was like us. If you think about it 200 years ago, probably we think of George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. That was probably the mindset that they had of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. That they were 10 generations back, that they were some forefathers that God brought here, and He made a promise with them, and He made a covenant with them. And we've all been getting circumcised. We really don't know why we're being circumcised. We just know we've always done it. It was some type of covenant that God made with our forefathers. When we look at the United States of America, we have that same concept many times. We think about George Washington and John Quincy Adams, and we think about some of the founding fathers. We didn't know them. We don't know anybody that knew them. We don't know exactly what they dealt with, only what we've heard about them, only what we've read out of books, only what history books and social studies has told us about them. And that's the way it was in Egypt at that day. The children of Israel, though they were Israelite by birth, that was the only thing about them that was Israelite. They were dressing like the Egyptians. They talked like the Egyptians. They worshiped like the Egyptians. Is there anybody here today? I want to read to you how much our culture has changed in the past 100 years. I looked this statistic up. This is pretty cool, I thought. In 100 years ago, the average life expectancy in the U.S. was 47 years. The average life expectancy was 47 years old. That was when most people died. Most of you wouldn't be here 100 years ago. Only 14% of the homes in the United States had a bathtub. My, how much things have changed. Only 8% of the homes had a telephone. 8% of the homes in the United States 100 years ago had a telephone. A 3-minute call from Denver to New York would cost $11. There were only 8,000 cars in the United States 100 years ago. And there was only 144 miles of paved road in the whole United States. The maximum speed limit in most cities was 10 miles an hour. Alabama, Mississippi, Iowa, and Tennessee were each more heavily populated than California. There were a mere 1.4 million people, and California was only the 21st most populous state in the Union. The tallest structure in the world was the Eiffel Tower. The average wage in the United States was 22 cents an hour. That would get you about this much gas. The average U.S. worker made between $200 and $400 a year. A competent accountant could expect to earn $2,000 a year. A dentist could earn $2,500 a year. A veterinarian between $1,500 and $4,000 a year. And a mechanical engineer could make about $5,000 a year. More than 95% of all births in the United States took place at home. 90% of all U.S. doctors had no college education. Instead, they attended so-called medical schools, many of which were condemned in the press and by the government as substandard. Sugar cost 4 cents a pound. Eggs were 14 cents a dozen. Coffee was 15 cents a pound. Most women only washed their hair once a month and used borax or egg yolks for shampoo. 100 years ago, Canada passed a law that prohibited poor people from entering their country for any reason. The 5 leading causes for death in the United States were pneumonia, influenza, tuberculosis, diarrhea, heart disease, and stroke. Can you imagine dying of diarrhea? The American flag only had 45 stars 100 years ago. Arizona, Oklahoma, New Mexico, Hawaii, and Alaska had not been admitted to the Union yet, and the population of Las Vegas, Nevada was 30. I probably shouldn't say this, but I will. Crossword puzzles, canned beer, and iced tea had not been invented yet. There was no Mother's Day or Father's Day, and only 2 out of every 10 U.S. adults could read or write. Only 6% of all Americans graduated from high school. Marijuana, heroin, and morphine were all available over the counter at your local drugstore. Back then, the pharmacist said that heroin clears up the complexion, It gives buoyancy to your mind. It regulates the stomach and bowels and is in fact a perfect guardian of health. 18% of households in the United States had at least one full-time servant or domestic help. And in the entire United States 100 years ago, there were 230 reported murders in the entire U.S. How our culture's changed in 100 years. I read all those statistics to you so that you could kind of catch the grip of how the culture of Israel had changed over 400 years. You can imagine that Abraham, whenever God gave him the covenant, and even as it came down through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they had knew the ways of God. They understood the circumcision. They understood the covenant. They understood what God was trying to do with them. They were all leaning on that promise. Abraham, God told you he was going to make your descendants as the stars of the heaven and the sands of the seas. And so Isaac, he went on with that promise. Jacob, he went on with that promise. He promised it down to his son. And now they went into Egypt, and 400 years later, they had forgot about that covenant. They were getting circumcised, but it was probably circumcision like that we do today with our children. Circumcision when they're a little baby, they don't even know why they got circumcised. They just know that it was happened like that. How many say amen? It was probably a culture over the 400 years. They didn't look at the circumcision as a covenant. They didn't look at the circumcision as this is what separates you from the Gentiles and all the other peoples of the world. It was just something they did because their grandma did it and their grandpa did it and their great-great-grandpa did it. And we really don't know why we did it. I believe it was Brother Rocky that gave the illustration that there was a young lady one time that was making ham. And whenever she made that ham, she just always would cut the two ends off of it. And they said, why in the world do we cut the two ends off of it? And she says, I don't know, but this is how I was taught to make it. I don't know what it does. I don't know if it adds more flavor, if it lets the juices come in there more, but I'm going to just keep cutting the ends off of both sides of it. And so they went back to and asked their aunts and asked their mother, do you know why we cut the ends off of both these hams? I don't know. I don't know why we do it. We've just always done it that way. They went back to the grandmother and they said, why is it that we cut the ends off of both ends of the ham before we put it in the oven? Is it do something with the flavor? She said, no, that's just all the bigger the pan I had. Huh? That's all the bigger the pan was. I cut the ends off of it. I put it in the pan. It doesn't have anything to do with anything. That's just the way it's always been. Is there anybody here today? How many people in Egypt did that? They went through the covenant, but you know what? They'd heard about it. They found it was like something like this historical figure, the father of our nation, this Abraham that was back 10 generations, 400 years ago. God made some kind of promise with him. We really don't know why we're doing it. We just do it. It's just been tradition. We've just passed it down through the genealogy, but the only thing about them that was Jewish was the circumcision, that they didn't even know why they were being circumcised. Everything else had been embedded in the culture of the Egyptians. They dressed like the Egyptians. They wore the clothes like the Egyptians. They worshiped and went to church like the Egyptians did. Everything that they were about was about the Egyptians. They were educated with the Egyptians. Oh, come on, somebody. They worship, and you'll find out here in a minute. Like I said, I don't know if I'm going to get time to preach all this morning. But what God had to do, the whole purpose of bringing God out, bringing the children of Israel out through this 40-year journey in the wilderness, is so that God could change their culture. God had to, see, you've heard the story how you can take a woman out of the country, but you can't take the country out of the woman. And this is the same thing that was taking place in Egypt. Even though they had come out of slavery, even though they had come out of Egypt's bondage, even though they come out of the culture of Egypt, the culture was still embedded in them to such a point that God could not even reestablish his covenant with them. Every time that God wanted to do something with them, they had that slave mentality of, I wish we were back in Egypt. You mean there wasn't enough graves in Egypt that you brought us out here so that we die in the wilderness? We just want to go back. Even while Moses was up in the mountain, come on somebody, they started talking about, he's not coming back. Let's get a group together. Let's go back to Egypt. Let's worship some of these other gods. You know, there was always that mentality of I want to go back. And God could not establish a covenant. God could have took them. The Bible says, I don't have time to look up all the scriptures for you today, but the Bible says that God could have took them the short route to get them to the promised land. I'm paraphrasing, but he said he didn't, lest peradventure arise and they would go back to Egypt. So he took them the long way through the wilderness, and the whole purpose is he was trying to separate them from the culture. I believe today that that's what God needs to do in the church of America. It's time that we be separated from the culture of this world. It's time that we stand up and be holy. It's time that we have a shift back to righteousness and a shift back to holiness and a shift back to the things of God. We have become so embedded with the culture of this world that it has invaded our churches. And you cannot tell the difference in a church and a thing of the world. We have made our church services concerts where rather than people worship God, they sit on their pews, fold their hands, and watch the people as they have a concert. This worship service is not a concert. We didn't come up here today so that we could perform for you. It's a worship service. I can't worship God for you. You've got to worship God for yourself. But it's the culture that we are a part of.